Hello everybody, my name is Zelinator and welcome back to Minecraft Through the Android episode 60 something, I can't remember. We are on episode 66 this day. Alright, here we are in the second best MTTA around. We're gonna keep working on... I never filled that with lava. Oops. That's gonna wait around a little bit. Because we're gonna get to this first. Hopefully, we wrap up everything we're doing today, because I hope that next time survival works again. I'm not all too sure. We're gonna find out when we get there. So that's what we're doing today. I don't know if I'll get to finishing all of this. I also don't know if I'm gonna be back, because I don't think I've read up on any major issues. I'm gonna have to go through the potentially dangerous versions list again and see if any other issues pop up between now and the end of 1.1. I don't know why I decided to do these two together. Inconsistency. Well, regardless, now we're all done. Oh, wait. Now we're all done. Except... Oh, howdy, welcome back. Let's grab the lava real fast. That's kind of a oops on my part. There we go. In fact... Oh, why is that burning? It's through the glass. Why you catch fire? I caught fire real fast. Where are you going on vacation? Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna have lava in this tube. Because apparently it just burns through any non-solid blocks or whatever. I missed Java Edition already. I was playing more of the beta 1.8 world yesterday. It was fun to go back. I was watching Captain Sparkle's Skyblock series on there while I was playing. That was fun. I don't know if I've seen his original Skyblock series. I know I watched his later, like 2.0 co-op Skyblock or whatever. Going to Spain, you can meet Man Devil Dave. Just kidding. I don't know where he's at exactly. He's another one of the guys who walk through the far lands. Right, can you stop catching fire already? There we go. Out of all of that, I've saved exactly one fence. So now I know. Java builds will not correlate on here. So, what we're going to do, we're just going to fill this with glowstone. Yeah, because lava doesn't like me. So, since it's so highly flammable, we're just going to do this instead. I feel like if you're on vacation, you should be enjoying vacation. I don't know if my stream's that important to miss out family fun time or whatever you're doing out there. There we go. Since I can't use lava, this is what we're going with. It feels redundant, but whatever. I have to play by Pocket Edition rules on here. And there we go. Top of this does not block my view of my, I don't know, sundial? I don't think this counts as a sundial because it doesn't tell the time based on the sun. It tells you, hey, it's bedtime based on the sun. Alright, well, anyways, that's all done. Still don't know what I'm going to do over here yet. That's not even. Huh. It occurred to me, I didn't build this in the center. Hold on. So this lines up here. That's these two. I need to shift this all over one. Oops. Alright, well here, let's do that. Let's do the easy stuff before we have to do the brain power stuff. Alright, now is that center? One, two edge, one, two middle, one, two edge. Hooray, I did it. Alright, cool. So this might need a tunnel. Because I feel like I don't want to raise this part. So if I physically can't go down here, let's take a look at this real fast. Because I don't want a staircase. I want something more interesting than a staircase this time. What I might do is, in fact, I might just go all the way up to here. Or did I ever do this? I think I've been forgetting to keep that enabled. Because I turned it off recently when I was doing some recording. Which means I might end up forgetting I turned it off again when I do more recording. I have a video. It's coming out soon. It's gonna be great, I hope. I'm gonna try to make it great. Well, you know what I could do? I could just say surprise and keep the pattern going up the wall. There we go. The only problem is the lines on the iron bars here are horizontal, and then you go down. Or sorry, they're vertical, but then you reach the edge and they're horizontal, which means I'd have to build like oh wait, no, that's still, yeah, because it's all horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. Oh well. I wonder if people take texture orientations into consideration when they're building like this. Usually I don't. But like, when you go for the tiny details, people probably do. Alrighty, so this should give me enough space to have something here. So what I'm thinking, we're probably going to have a shorter roof. I don't need it to be as tall as this one. This art gallery is going to be the most grandiose. Oh, you know what I don't have? I don't have a main entrance. Well dang, where's the main entrance supposed to go? Maybe I should put the main entrance over here. Like, what if I mirror that side, bring it over? That might be what I end up doing. How's that tree look weird? Oh, that's not the tree, that's the dirt. I was wondering why I had a pillar of logs right there. And then I realized, oh no, that's the creeper face that I built out of grass that I'm waiting to see if it turns into dirt. Alrighty, so this is my little room. So I need to combine this with this. Alrighty, how about I grab the blocks that are going to be required. So the primary room can be made out of this. Excuse me, Piglet. I'm doing stuff here. Almost said baby pig until I remembered there's a proper term for baby pig. You know, there might be a proper term for every type of baby animal. I never thought of that. Alrighty, so Yeah, we're gonna need some sort of interior decoration to make this look more interesting. Oh wait, hold on, I did 2 and then the wall. Maybe I should do that out here as well. Like, what if we extended this outward? I don't even know how much detail I can fit in here. It's rather condensed. For some reason, I thought you upgraded to Alpha 1.0.2 yesterday. You were talking about redstone not breaking when you walk on it. Maybe we're just preparing for the future, meaning around 24 hours later. It's now nighttime, and now I sleep. Oh, that's not gonna work. That's where I have the window. Just kidding. I'm about to undo everything I just did, because we're gonna make this. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize that. That does not line up. So we're just gonna have all this buried polished andesite. We currently have available to 1.0.2s. One day perhaps in the future we'll get the opportunity to find someone who shares the original copy. We kind of plateaued maybe 2021. Not many versions have been released since then. I should say not many versions have been made available to archive since then. I feel like we might have run out of people to contact. Or what I'll probably do is just bring this straight over. I don't know how long the first copy was accessible for. If anything, it could have been short, like 48 minutes maybe. I don't keep track of times like that. That is too much metadata for my brain to keep up with. Alright, let's grab... You know what I could do? I could be mean and put trapdoors. And make people have to climb the trapdoors. But people meaning me, I don't want to climb trapdoors. So, we'll do the simplest solution. Alright, I'm thinking... Decisions. Did the pig end up in here? Hold on. Did I see you? I'm seeing things. For some reason, I really thought I saw the piglet right here, and then like, whoop. There you are, hello. It's taunting me. For the reason of us not having it, makes me feel like it was very short. Probably shorter than 1.1.1. What a time to be alive when that was located. Alrighty, so in here, can I do like an H? I guess I should make it 5. Not sure how much I like those at the exits, but we'll keep them there for now. So with that taken care of, in fact, why don't I do the same thing on the outside? Whoop, auto jump almost messed me up there. Nothing new, of course. So if I have that like that, alright, we're getting there. I think now, I kind of want to have windows here in the corners. I'm not sure how that'll look, but I'm thinking about it. In fact, I'll probably have that go all the way around. Decisions, decisions. Say as I try to piece all this together. If I do that, then maybe I will be able to just peekaboo right in there. So if I have one here, I'll put another one there. Every corner, I say. We'll see if I end up changing my mind. Now I think I'm going to mirror the top. I was trying to keep the polished andesite only on the floor, but looking at this now, it feels like it sort of fits here. Partially because I'm using it on the bottom down here. This is where I'll put the glass. And so it feels like polished andesite to not concrete, hardened clay, should be hardened clay, the polished andesite. You know what, save that one. And badoop. Hatch some Z's, reset the non-existent weather timer. Howdy, Paul. Welcome back. Very rarely, it feels like. I think it is a very rare occurrence for me to ever use glass panes in anything other than walls. I feel like I don't ever put glass at the corners of builds. Although usually stuff like this is very interesting. I think part of it is you don't usually see glass in the corners of buildings in the real world. Like, I don't want to have a strip that goes all the way around now. Keep the wood going. One thing is what I do when I hit there. Oh, that feels off balance. Oh wait, maybe I could just do one. Well, now if I just do one, feels like maybe this should be swapped. I think I'll keep the middle one vertical. But I do like that more. Of course, what I could do is I could just have a singular pillar at the very edge. No, because now it feels like the glass here should be full blocks if I do that. Question is, what looks better? Decisions, decisions. I could do maybe two. Feels like I'm like this with a lot of projects. It's just tiny details I get hung up on and end up spending the most amount of time on. First one I think I'll do. Don't want to shave these down. It just feels like there's too much space down here at the floor. Then if I do that, oh wait, that's what I'm missing. There we go. Okay, for some reason it felt off. And now I've learned why that was. Let's grab... What if I just casually did stone brick stairs? I don't really know what to put for the roof there, so we'll just do that. I like the inside look. Something needs to go right there. A painting, maybe? Oop, that doesn't work. I really don't need to go that low, because it just opens up on this side. So what I could do, I can maybe do this. and then undo this, so that way it's just one slab. That feels better. Maybe keep it at 2 though. See, it's the little details. The little details I tell you. You know what I could do? I could just do that. There we go. I think that's the solution to my problem. Now I feel better about the inside of here. With the exception of the walls, cannot poke that out normally, so I would need... How tall is this one as well? I could just fill it in with clay. No one would ever know that I didn't have a solution. There we go, that brightens up the room a little. And we walk through here, kind of a chillax room. And then you've got the art gallery. Alright, we're getting there. Hooray, hooray, we're getting there. Alright, so now I'll need... I might have to bring this down. Because if I have... Where are they? Because if I do the same thing here... Oops. If I do the same thing here with the slabs... I'm gonna have to meet up like that. Otherwise, it might look weird to have something like that going on. Dukowski, you buy laptops from eBay? What are your plans with it? Or is this the general purpose you were saying before? No, we'll keep this lower. No, that bothers me because it is shorter. What I could do, I might be able to do this. Oh wait, I don't have any lights in here. Whoopsies, minor oversight. Alright, we'll work on that soon. Let's head back here to the bedroom. $128 megabytes of RAM and a 10 gigabyte hard drive? What was the original OS installed? Windows 98? Did you say it was either 98 or 2000? What's currently installed on it? Or was there nothing and the hard drive was blank when you received it? This is where we plop the clay. Oh, I see, so you haven't received it yet. Okay, so you just ordered it. Who's messing me? Alrighty. I think... I feel like we need something else here. And I'm not sure how much I like the logs hanging out like that. Unless if I... That works. Alright, I'll need to keep working on the ceiling in here. Could do 4 stone brick slabs, since I seem to be using these a lot now. Alright, cool. We have our little plus sign. I'm thinking, can I turn it into the 4 squares? Did y'all ever play Foursquare? There was like Foursquare championships or something back when I was in middle school. Yeah, I remember there was Foursquare in elementary. Foursquare is another playground game. I don't even know if Foursquare is still played today. No, I don't like that. Into the ceiling it goes. This is very open compared to the rather sealed off room. Artificial light versus sunlight. Alrighty, so what we'll do for lighting is we'll examine what we got. Good old glowstone. Honestly, I might just stick the 4 on the floor and call it a day. Oh wait, hold on, I have an idea. I wonder... Aha, that does let light through. You know, that kind of blends in rather well. Howdy, Akio, welcome back. I'm in creative because survival doesn't work. I'm gonna try next time to be in survival again. Seems a little dark in here. Maybe swap these. And then use good old trapdoors. There we go. I think I did the hallway transition neatly. Again, it's stream time. Bother me in an hour and a half, please. I think we might be done here. Let me just take a quick look outside and see what we're dealing with. One of those times where I do wish I could place slabs everywhere. Not slabs, the trapdoors. Because I want to cover this roof in trapdoors, but I don't think that's happening. I think, as long as the hallways don't look bad. Close enough. Although this does look a little odd. I wonder if I could No, because now that log there is looking weird. Alright, close enough. See, this side looks fine, because it looks like it meshes well. Here it just sort of loops. What if I took out this entire row? Can I halo reach? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need an entrance point, because I'm hitting where I'm not sure where to put it. This is fine, I suppose. What sort of shenanigans was Microsoft doing back then to require a lawsuit from Oracle? Oops, sun's going down. Alright, we need something here. Need something where I could still peek through, because I'm thinking some sort of ripped glass tunnel. I'll keep the glass, maybe head back to the full logs. Probably gotta sleep first. And nighttime. There we go. I'll probably try to clean up that little pancake killer over there. That looks a little bland, just having a big stone mound. Maybe I'll flatten it all the way to like this level. That's for future me. I did not realize there was a time that Windows ran Java applets natively. I think that should be what I know first. But we start here. Oh, that's gonna need to be a lot taller, won't it? This 4 blocks. Oh wait, that might have been too tall. Oops. Because now what I'm thinking is that one's going to be horizontal, and then at the very top it's going to be horizontal as well. Now do you have to be back? Yeah, I think we're going to lower all of this by 1. Could just do something like this, and then just keep the corners out. This might be what we end up going with. I didn't get any ideas for what I'm building. I just started placing blocks in a pattern that looked interesting. Everything I've built since last time has been on the spot. In fact, everything I've done in this world has been on the spot. I don't plan whatever I have in here. It just pops. This might be too many. Hold on. If there's 8, I'd have to redo something back there. Because otherwise, I feel like it'd be easier if I skip 2. I should say skip it for the one. So take out that one. Take out that one. Take out that one. But then I'm gonna have to do something up here. Unless if I reposition these. Let's see, how many blocks do I have? Oh wait, hold on. If I take out this one. Never mind. Here's what we're going to do. Because this one at the very top is going to act as part of the wall. Then over here, on this back side, we're going to use jack. If you plan on upgrading the laptop, is there a reason for not getting a laptop with the upgrades already? I don't know what I'm going to do over there, because I'm going to need to take out this grass. Yes, cheaper makes sense. So this side should be fine. That one's not right. $127 GB for storage. I feel like that was before my time. I should say at least before I started getting into computers and stuff. By that point, half a terabyte was the norm. I don't plan on working on advanced redstone in any of my series for the time being, for the sole reason of I've struggled well enough working on simple redstone in my series. Maybe I'll just use clay. What if I don't bother fixing the terrain? What if I do what I've been doing? Anytime there's dirt or grass, I just use clay instead of glass. We're getting there, very slowly. When I first had my computer, my dedicated desktop put together in 2015, I started out with a 1 terabyte internal hard drive. I was already a couple years into my gaming sessions. No, even longer, because it would have been 2012 when I really got into PC gaming. Eventually, I got a 1 terabyte internal SSD for storage. That's what I've been using since then. The ceiling feels a little low. Maybe I should have had it 1 block higher. But I've already built everything. I'm not undoing my undo. As long as I could see... I cannot see. Alright, now this 1 log here. This is the one that's in the way. Imagine get rid of that. Look, now I can see. Or what I could do, I could half it again and have this one and this one. Because the goal is to have glass all the way, so that way I can see when the sun sets. That's why I wanted this out of glass in the first place. And so as long as I see it from the bedroom, which that one pillar is what fixes it. Oh, time to undo. Now it almost does feel like it should just be squared off instead of having the corners dented in. Alright, well, if I do that, then I'll have it be sideways. If you decide your alpha house looks bad this early on, is there a reason you did not make it look good the first time? I don't think you've been playing on this world that long. I would say the only way to get better at building is to keep building. And as time has passed, I don't think I've gotten any better in a long time. I say as I look in here and I think, this is genuinely interesting. More interesting than stuff I've built in the past 3 years. Maybe I don't play creative enough. Maybe that's my problem. I'm so used to skimping out because I stick to whatever's easily obtainable in survival. Plus I play old versions. Whereas this is relatively new. And I have access to every building block in the creative menu. Well, that did not at all turn out as I was expecting. In fact, chances are this one's going to end up being replaced. This one can probably stay. I should have just made the whole thing out of glass to begin with. Oh well. Well, I'm not changing that anymore. Time to work on the bedroom. I have over an hour. So after we do the bedroom, we'll definitely need to expand off in this direction because I need a way to get in. Unless if I really wanted to undo this area, I could turn this into the entrance so you walk in straight into the art gallery. I'd have to get rid of this glass. I might keep it open. Otherwise, I'd need to design some sort of entryway right here. And then I'll just extend the path straight forward. That way it connects here, and then have fun there. What I could also do is I could extend, or not extend the bedroom, I could build another tunnel, have another room here, so then this would have another entrance with another path that would connect somewhere around here. Decisions. This is not at all what I was envisioning it would look like when I first started building. Wasn't I supposed to avoid using gray? Look at this. All the color is over here. There's some brown there, but that's still another common color. And then look at this building. This is entirely gray from the outside. I went wrong somewhere for my original building plans. Let's do something different. What do I have on the inside? I think I could use sandstone. Otherwise, it's a lot of nether brick in there. Does nether brick and sandstone look good? I have doubts. Well, at least they're high contrast to each other. Let's do something. Alrighty, I'm looking at the building, and I'm seeing where everything should go. And this is one of those times where I wish I had nether brick slabs. I guess we have sandstone slabs, which means... What if... Ooh, let's start here. I'll start on this one wall, and if I can pull this off, I'll copy it to the others. Nope. Alright, we have that going. But now... Or maybe we'll start with expanding this first. We need something. We need something more. Because otherwise it's completely flat. Oh, come on. Am I gonna have to be down here to place all that? Oh, wait, hold on. Now I can't see. It's 2 blocks between, right? Oh, it feels like it should be the other way around. What if... What if we go back, whip out the full blocks? Like, what if I made myself feel better? In fact, hold on. Because what I mean by the other way around is, instead of having the slabs be on the interior, where the window is, have them be on the outside. Pretty sure that one was a full block. Had to verify. I've never heard of Shell Core Command Remastered. I'm prepared for you to explain what that means. What kind of game it is. Well, now that just completely closes off the gap there. That's okay, because now it sort of fits, except, curse you, smooth lighting, why must you be different? Oh, then now, oops, I do it like that. That doesn't look terrible, except that makes it look flat still. I could replace the full nether brick block with something else. use something that's not solid. Closest thing is everyone's favorite, dark oak fences. I don't know if this is everyone's favorite. But dark oak fences are fine, because I still don't have nether brick fences. We're getting there. But now I think... Well, the problem is I have to deal with that seam at the top of the sandstone. Because if I didn't have this line here and it tiled fully, I think I would have liked that more. But I do not have that luxury. It's one of the problems with working with the sandstone. Retro style without retro constraints is what Valve worked on for the new maps when it came to Half-Life 1's 25th anniversary update. There were several engine limitations that they greatly increased, allowing them to have more detailed maps for the multiplayer deathmatch. Can't remember what changed, but they did something. Other than the top part being completely flat, I think this is good enough. Unless if I wanted to replace these full blocks with nether brick. Wait, but then I still would not have any nether brick. No nether brick slabs is starting to bother me. I didn't realize I would miss one specific block until I wanted to build with said specific block on multiple occasions. Alright, that's what we're going with. Wait, hold on. I have a better idea. My better idea doesn't look as good as I wanted it to. Remember all those bottles I used to have on my desk that I kept saying, "Oop, that was a bottle I knocked over"? I cleaned all those up because I needed a place to properly tie down a microphone in hopes of reducing issues from sprouting up. The issue is not fully mitigated, but I believe it to be an improvement. If I instead had no slabs at all. No, what is this smooth lighting? What is this? The top part looks fine, it's just the bottom. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get rid of all of this because I need to make sure that this is fully filled in. Because the AO is bothering me. I wonder if stuff like this gets fixed in the future. Future versions of Bedrock. No, it's still there, so it's not being caused by the empty space. Whatever. Well, in the end, I do like this more. I think it smooths out and meshes with the fences a little better. There will always be people to outsmart Microsoft. Just like that, there will always be people getting Windows builds leaked. There we go. All that dirt was bothering me. So other than the darkness being on the top half of the stair, where it's not supposed to be, I think this should be fine. So now that I did that side, this is also kind of why I didn't want to start until I was completely satisfied. Because I didn't want to do two whole sides and have to redo both of them. I was kind of hoping that the unnecessary shadow was going to be a directional thing. Unfortunately, it was not. Oh well. Because I was hoping that on this side it wouldn't show up. Is it on all sides? Is the stair really just like that? Does it really have improper shadows all the way around? It really does. That is a bummer. Oops. Can you see what's wrong? There we go. Alright. Now let's see. How's the sun visibility? Oh, bedtime. If he upgraded through every available Windows build, did he share the differences with the public? It does look like two slabs. Because you've got the whole shading for one slab, and then you have the whole shading for the other slab. I think I'll keep that empty. I don't think it looks good going right up against the wall. Oh, this is very close quarters I have here. Oh, got that to fit. Just barely. Live check, someone has said. Looks over at OBS, sees 0 drop frames. Do I want to keep the pattern going along there? I could do the top part at least. Howdy again. I don't think you've missed much. And do that or else it'll never be grass. I remember specifically filling in that grass block earlier. Kind of funny that now I've undone that and set it back to air as it originally was. Alrighty, so if I wanted to keep up the pattern, alright, how's that look? I'm not sure how much I like it being full blocks. Maybe this is when I get to use slabs that I just replaced with glass. I was like, what if I just turned all of this into slabs? Because it looks weird having it go down and then not connect to anything. That's the whole point of why I replaced those with stairs to begin with. In fact, what if I just didn't have stairs at all? Oops. Nope, no. Wrong way. I think I'm just gonna leave that. I'll leave only the top part. Alright, how's this look? At least now that it has more color. That's what we'll do over here. Make those slabs. Nope, that looks weird. Alright, let's take a look-see. What dirt can I replace to make the area look cleaner? Looks at time and sees hour and 8 today. Hour and 9. We're getting there. At least now that has more color. The top part is very bright though. I feel like we need something in the middle. Can't be too high because I need to make sure I still have a line of sight straight through. I almost wonder if I can do something like this. Hold on. Let's see if I like how this looks. The only problem is it's currently offset with the stairs. There's no fixing that. Oh, that doesn't connect anything. Huh. Oops. I'd have to I need to put something there. I could just swap that with a full block. How about get rid of these real fast? How does it look just having the big old L's? Alright, I like that more. There we go. Except now it's a little dark, which means it feels like I should be putting lights on the roof as well. I usually find out going in blind to games, as well as TV shows and movies, is far more rewarding to discover on my own. Way back in my early years of life, I don't know, when I was 12 or 13, I used to watch videos on games before I ended up playing them myself. You know what, doing all that makes me feel much better. I feel much more confident because now it was this big gray square, and now look, it has color. I wonder if there's anything I could do here though. I don't think that makes me feel better. You know what, I think I do like the little stubs though. Oops. So we'll just put one. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix this side as well. So I wonder... No, stone brick it is. It just looks better if it's all consistent. Oh wait, hold on. You know what I could do? Stone brick stair. Hooray! No, not for the interior ones. What was I saying earlier about getting hung up on the tiny details? Okay, I don't think I'll get any better than that. Now I'm done. For sure this time. There we go. Alright. What have I been procrastinating on for 4 days in a row? The bedroom. Why? I don't have any ideas what I'm doing. You know what I could do? I could do vertical stripes. I haven't done vertical stripes yet. Alright, let me look over in this room. If this one's kind of like dull and muted, what if I did something bright and colorful? You know what I could do? I could use wool. Alright, how about we do light blue and purple and lime. Those are our colors now. Alright, let's grab glass, probably the full block. And then I need the concrete. This is not concrete, stained clay. Concrete does not exist yet. Did I miss something? Seems like everyone kind of disappeared again. I was kind of waiting to see a response to, did your message not send? And it's been silence. Alright, we're just gonna expand this a little bit more. Alright, close enough. And I'm thinking I will bring this out again. That means... This might be a problem. Because I need this one to be one more. Well, it's not like I can move that whole building and this whole building over one block. That way I could fit a second row of polished andesite there. Well, that's unfortunate. So close. Because that would have provided a little extra room there. And this side wouldn't be so cramped. Because I guess now I'd have to lower the whole thing. Because, no, raise it. Because this would need to be... Don't mind me casually losing where the blocks are. And then this would have to be upward. Yeah, I don't like how the floor here is raised up right at the doorway. But I might have to deal with it since I don't think I can provide a better solution without, like I said, moving the entire building I just constructed over a block. I still don't even know what I'm going to do for a doorway here. It's kind of why I haven't worked on this either. Because this bedroom, I like it being on the hill, the raised portion compared to the rest of the house. But it's giving me a little issue. I'm having difficulty with placing it. Alrighty, so back to the stained clay. I guess that's just going to end up being right there. Oh, it won't be. That's going to have to be way out here. Alright, if I have the logs there... I could do horizontal stripes. And I kind of already did horizontal stripes over there. But this is a totally different build, so it doesn't matter. But if I used... Oh, you know what we need? We need yellow. Yellow and blue, and then purple and lime. Because what we need... I'll start on this wall. Before I do all the way around, we're going to start right here. So we are looking at... Okay, 8 blocks. There's our 4. Unless... we work with only 6. I might have to simplify the colors. Decisions, decisions, decisions. First, let's catch some catch some Z's. And once we get C, we'll try again. Otherwise, I could do something. Oops. Okay, I might need a taller wall. Oops, wait, hold up. Huh. Can you tell that I don't know what I'm doing? Because if I'm staring at this wall, I can assure you, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of placing color here and hoping that something stands out. And I think I might have found the solution. I think I kind of like this. And what we'll do, we'll have some windows here. So, turns out, we're going to cut that down. And then over on this side. In fact, I could just make the whole thing. This way I could bring the color all the way through. That's not right. That way now the outside has a design to it as well. So I'll figure out something for the ceiling. Oh wait, hold on. How to do the corner? Oh, to the boy. Otherwise, I'd have to shift it over one block. So that way instead of 2, 2, 2, 2, it was 3, 3. Oh boy. Alright, hold on, let's try this again. Alright, back to square one. We have a wall. We have a totally solid wall. At least now I have a vision in my mind of what it is I want to do here. So we have a totally solid wall, and then which one was it? It was yellow, lime. That's not right. Wait, hold on. What was the pattern? Alright, rewind. I did this backward. The only thing that's right is the blue. There we go, back to live. Alright, there we go. So now what happens, let's bring all this over. reseat the microphone in case that's the reason no one else has showed up. Alright, so I have that, and then that just means this is only going to be 2 instead of 3. I kind of want to have the logs over here as well. Because if this is going to be one doorway, then I might do the same on this side. Oh, wait a minute. This whole pathway, it's iron all the way down. I've made a mistake. Alright, let's fix this real fast here. Because it's supposed to be like this. Oops, I forgot a log. It's buried there, hidden in the clay. Let's clean that up real fast. This is one of those times I kind of wish I had pick block. But unfortunately, the metal mouse on here does not do what pick block does in modern. Alright, so now stack the logs. Cool. The only thing this doesn't solve is what to do with the very corner. I'm now realizing I only have 2 walls here that are going to be colored. I could just... I don't know. I need something there. Because otherwise, if I expanded each of these all the way over, we just end up getting... Well, you know, I guess that's fine. Oops. Huh. We need something to connect them. Right, let's catch some Z's, reset the non-existent weather timer. I don't know. I think I'm on the right track. But this corner over here does still not feel right. I think this is what we're going to stick with. And I'll keep this one in this corner. Alright, well now, we poke this on through. So much for having a good view of the sunset when I go to bed. The only problem is, that hill is in the way anyways. That's a lot of hill. Okay, so if I wanted a good view of the sunset, I'd have to get rid of this big cluster and this cluster, cross the river. That's a chunk that doesn't want to render. And then I still have all of this as well that have been claimed by the clan of pumpkins. So I think I'm just not going to bother about having a good view of the sunset this time. Oh, sorry, not sunset, sunrise. The sun sets over there. It rises in the north and sets in the south. Okay, well, let's head back over here. I think I've changed my mind about having the wool go all the way through. We're going to do it like this because this is where the glass is going to go. So let me grab... Do I want the panes? I might want the full block for this. Yeah, I think in this scenario, full block makes more sense. So now what happens if I do this? We're getting there. Slowly, slowly we're getting there. Except I realize this entire floor is raised up, which means I'm going to have to surround everything around it. Boop. I'm going to have to surround everything around it with the polished andesite. Is that really what I want? Is this really how I want the floor to go? I could replace this whole outer ledge with the wall stuff. The stained clay. There we go. It's not concrete. Concrete doesn't exist yet. You know, that doesn't look too bad. Plus, it also combines with that. Alright, well that's taken care of. Time to solve the same issue we've had before. Where do the torches go? Should say, where does the glowstone go? I'm thinking... we can't use slabs. What if we tried brick? I started with a line of bricks around here. Oh, in fact, what if... Wait, do I want slabs? What if... hold on, if I made it steeper... No, we'll stick to slabs. I was thinking, what if I use brick stairs instead? But when I look at it, I don't think that's going to look as good. That might be too steep of an angle. In fact, yeah, let's fill all this in. Wait, hold up. That's not right, because that needs to be the top half. I don't think I've ever used wool like this before. You will never find in the history of Zelinator's builds something that looks like this from the outside. This is bizarre. Gotta keep things interesting, though. And I realized I made a mistake. Don't fill those in. Oh, nighttime approaches. Oh wait, wasn't I planning on having another extension from this bedroom? I kinda just sealed myself out. Whoops. There we go, plus all of those. I'll need to see how this looks, because I might end up needing to redo that edge. Alright, time to sleep. In my rather dark room? I guess it's not that dark. It would be brighter if the if the brick texture was brighter. It would also be brighter if I didn't need to deal with smooth lighting being odd. Oh hey, another message after half an hour. There was some sort of miscommunication between you guys about MJD. Michael MJD. Alright, let's grab the stone that glows. Alrighty, we'll do... I might not have it at the edge. Maybe bring it inward one more. Alright, there we go. There should be plenty bright in here. Alrighty, so how's it looking? I think the bedroom is done. This is not at all what I was visioning. Not in the slightest. I had no idea what I was going to do with the bedroom, and I guess it figured itself out. Alrighty, so now we have to seal this part off, which means we're going to have to do something right here. I just used stone brick, right? Yeah, more stone brick and hardened clay, essentially. And clay. Alright, well, that's what we're doing. And, oop, alright, good enough. Alright, sorry to you. Just gonna tear that down temporarily. Or it might end up being permanently. In fact, here, let's get rid of the entire section here since it won't connect properly. I feel like stick to your plans. I'd vote 98, but that's just me. Alright, do I bring that straight across, or do I do nice, gentle slope? Is this gonna line up nice and neatly? Yeah, it does. It's kind of a low ceiling, though, I will say. But I'm not going to complain because it works. Did it take you this long to start playing? It's like there's an entire half hour of time that just disappeared. This is weird. Probably not. It probably is that nobody just said anything for half an hour. But it really does feel like, with everything going back to normal, like the half hour just straight up disappeared. Alright, there we go. I say as I look and realize I never built our entrance. Alrighty, so I'm gonna have to tear down something. As long as your father likes the comically large Father's Day cards, everything will be fine. Oh, what the? Why do I have slabs right there? Maybe I should cover it like that. No, I don't like that. I think I want it to be flat. So I guess I just casually toss some slabs on the inside. Oh, that's why, because it would look weird having that one entranceway be shorter than all the others. That's what happened. Alrighty, so let's go back here, because this is now going to be declared the front door. As much as I like the double tall glass, I think, yeah, as much as I like this being the twin windows, I'm gonna have to say goodbye to this bottom one. Because I'd either have to tear down a wall someplace random, or use my pre-existing, already prepared window. Are you saving the Windows Pro license for anything? This tunnel seems a little dark. I never added clay. How about... Boop. How'd you end up with a Pro license if you weren't going to use it? I guess there we go. I don't know what else to put here, and I can't really make the clay consistent. So that's what we've got going. let's fill all this in, because the carpet stops here. Let me fix these though. You could send them a message, assuming you're in the discontinued features wiki, or the discontinued features server. Be like, hey, I've got news for you, buddy. Did he respond? Well, not nighttime yet. And now it is. If he did not respond, he's probably busy with stuff. Insert SpongeBob waiting gif. Alrighty, so what do I want to do for the entranceway? Truth be told, I kind of like these logs I've been using. I could do something. I don't know how well that fits. I miss the glass. I liked when it was glass, but we're gonna have to leave it. Because otherwise, I was planning on having the other room here extending off that way, but we're not gonna have time for that. I might still have enough time to add another room over there, or add something. But for this art gallery, this is kind of what makes logical sense. There's probably enough people in his comments telling him, you know, I take that back. I don't know if there's enough people who like old Minecraft who watch IBX Toycat. He feels normy these days. Those who only keep up with the latest stuff. I think that's kind of why I stopped watching his content. Every once in a while I go back and watch something of his. I kept up with his content more during the maybe 2018, 2019 Village and Pillage update aquatic. Do I just put the doors right there? Is it as easy as that? I could have the most plain looking front door of all time. So let me grab the singular type of door we have. We're gonna put this one inside. I might change this to glass though. I was thinking about it. And I think this will look better if I had glass there. But to do that, I'll also need to bump up the outside. I think him playing on Bedrock is also kind of why I didn't bother keeping up. Why I stopped being interested. The little details I tell you. Okay, that's where we're going with, for sure. That way I get to keep some of my glass. So we go in and we look, and hooray, here's the art gallery. Oh, I've got more time than I thought. Sitting at 9 minutes. Alright, well, let's wrap up the path here. Because I need this to connect. I need this to Xbox Connect. I never owned an Xbox, but I had cousins who did. They had to connect. I don't know if they still do. It is another brick, right? Yes, yes, yes. Oops. There we go, with the exception of, what am I doing here? You know what I could do? I could expand this. No, because for the very reason, man, if only this was shifted over another, you know what, no, I'd have to move it over 2 blocks, because I would want the 1 block gap between here. And then doing that, I just have to redo the staircase. The Mossy Cobble house was never lost media, because we always, well, I say we, but it's been around. 1 or 2 of the early indevs have been floating around for years. Because I first got a copy maybe 10 years ago. Modified, of course, but no, it would have been longer than that because I first had to use Fiddle 2. Anyone remember that? That's how you had to play old versions of InDev and early InfDev because the vanilla launcher didn't work. The vanilla launcher never worked with InDev, and I wonder if that's why they never included it, even though 0.23, not 0.23, InDev 2.23 was available. But anyways, Fiddler 2 was a dedicated program that I remember using, and you could probably find tutorials online how to play InDev with Fiddler. Yeah, let's take a nice sweeping look around. How's it going? I have no idea what sort of plans I had 4 streams ago, but I'm satisfied with how this looks nowadays. I feel like 10,000 by 10,000 worlds, you'd notice after a while of playing. There's surely people have filled up their old legacy console 5,000 by 5,000, right? 5,120. Hey, you remember Fiddler 2. Yeah, I still have my copy of it somewhere. It had a 0.31, it had 223, I believe, and it had one of the infdevs. I think it might have been infdev 227. At least my copy of it. It's somewhere, because this would have been laptop days. 2013 to 2014. Oh well. Gone are those days, now that we have Betacraft going, as well as other third-party launchers. Does multi-MC support InDev? There we go. Little details. Don't worry, my old Vista laptop was pretty bad as well. I remember it used to being good, but you know, that was 2011, 2012. And then time passed, and I played Minecraft on it for hours and hours and hours. And then, you know, it doesn't run as good anymore. Can I not get up this? Apparently it makes me jump early, but I clunk my head on the ceiling. I have to manually jump. Oh no, hold on, that worked. Huh, never mind. I guess auto jump wants to work after a few tries. But I've changed my mind with this. We're gonna swap out the clay with glowstone and trapdoors. this room does feel kind of dark now. This will solve some of the corners. If I really wanted, I could just do this and not tell anyone that that's off center. No, it bothers me. This one bothers me. So what we'll do what I did before and just tie that under a slab. And there you go. And now this room is slightly brighter and that doesn't look much different. Hooray, hooray. Ooh, a challenge. Because now I need to get glowstone all in here. So what we'll do, we'll probably do that same slab trick. I'm probably overdoing it on glowstone, but that's okay. This will make sure it's always bright in here. Notch wanted to bring over the ability to move the InDev worlds over to InfDev, a way to increase their size. He never ended up adding that. Kind of a bummer. Oh, hold on. That's not the slab trick at all. Yeah, there are some ideas that I kind of wish Notch kept around. The ability to have limited worlds is one of them. Well, these days with the world border, I feel like we don't need a definite way to do that, because if you wanted a smaller world, you could just shrink the world border with the world settings before you start playing. There we go. Yes, there is in fact dirt hidden behind there, but because the slabs are blocking it, no one will ever know. But if you have final thoughts, start saying them now. We're all done for the day. In good timing. If everything goes well, this is the last time you guys see this world until I do something else with it. And I think the final touch is putting glowstone up here because this is kind of dark. But yeah, we'll be back again. We're going to try the survival world and hope it works. I'll do one last look around. Ceiling here is dark as well, but we're just going to leave it. Yep, I believe that's all it for this time. Thank you all for watching. Bye.